Even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Detroit Lions and the Las Vegas Raiders. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Now Lawrence to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. From the 39, Lawrence. That's once again complete to Chark. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 30 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Now Lawrence. He finds his man complete. It's Knight. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only a yard in the completion. It's second and goal. And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed that went right into the...
And in for the Lions touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions are on the board first here in Vegas. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their own 21. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He gets this to Davante Adams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. That catch, by the way, kind of noteworthy. It's number 764 in his career. Ties him with Hall of Famer James Lofton.
And he's done it just as James Lofton did in his career. Smooth.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. To throw, it's Carr. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The Raiders had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Now, this defense for the Lions, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd. Try to run for it with Jacobs. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing at 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly,
and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On play action, now Carr. He hits Adams complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And it's complete to Adams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 33 yards that time.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both touchdown Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his second touchdown on the season, and the Raiders are back within a score. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right, with his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. Touchdown! Amon-Ra St. Brown with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. To the 22-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. And he's got it. And in for the Lions touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked out officially at the 21.
21-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr.
And this will be caught by Mooney. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 15 yards. And the Las Vegas first down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
2nd and 6. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now Carr. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
And the ball situated at the 9, second and goal. Now they'll throw with Carr. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? Carr going to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Darnell Mooney, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Carlson on for the PAT. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Lawrence. That throw taken in by Jameson Williams. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. He's airing it out for Williams, and he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jameson Williams, as the first half is winding down, and the Lions will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Badgley, up and good, and the lead is up to 18 now. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Carr got his man complete over the middle. That's Jacobs. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Carr now on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Lions will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Tough one there. First drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off. And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
He's got this complete to Williams. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. On 1st down, it's Knight. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
And the Lions are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on third down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it first and goal.
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, a 5-yard touchdown, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point by Badgley up and good, and they open the lead up now to 25.
Raiders 17. Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
That one covers 29 yards. First down.
Vegas, first down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Carr now to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. But it'll be second down.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Carr again here on second and 10. He'll take a shot here for Hooper downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a third and 10. Again, it's Carr. That's complete to Mooney. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 39. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
On first down, Carr. There's Mooney with another catch. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's second down.
A gain of 4. It's now second and 6.
Final minute now of the third quarter. On second down, Jacobs. And he'll go down at the 28. 74 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw his Carr. Throwing left sideline complete. It's Adams. Touchdown Raiders. Davante Adams. 26 yards. And the Raiders are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now,
and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. In that time for the sack, say hello to Chandler Jones. Here comes the Lions punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. That's pulled in at the 32. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Levi Onwuzurike charging in and finishing off the sack.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So now Carr and the Raiders dealt a 3rd and long after that sack. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Lions are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And good work there in open space, and he's got this all the way down now to the 32. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. They'll keep it on the ground. Knight. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. From the shotgun, Lawrence. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 14. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back.
4 yards to go on 2nd down from the 7.
They run the counter. It's Knight, and not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, it was one.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown.
Zonovan Knight, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Carr. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And they will take a knee here.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Detroit, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers.